So this past Friday, we got news that Spirit Airline was going bankrupt and that they were closing their facilities. All of the airplanes were going to be shut down. What they didn't tell us was that they were just canceling everybody's flights, didn't give them a heads up, and left a lot of consumers stranded at their travel destination. So, what this shift in the economy is saying about us as consumers is that we no longer have the upper hand. When I went to business school, I took a course on customer service and relations, and they made customer service extremely important in our industry. Being a business owner or even working in administration in a business, you really do have to consider the consumer because you're selling it to them, right? Whatever product or service it is, and you're expecting them to come back because they love the product and service. But these days, billionaires actually own companies that do not even have proper customer service. They do not really care what type of service you receive so long as you get your product and you're just content with the product. Even though they will have a perception that makes it look like they care about their customers, you know at the end of the day that they don't. Specifically, Amazon is also in the news this week. Jeff Bezos is in the news this week. There are workers, of Jeff Bezos who are going out there and protesting these events now. And this is something I considered also a few, even just last year. I wanted to go and crash one of those events. But my mind has shifted in such a more positive and intellectual way that I no longer feel that I have to go and do those things. And simply put, it's because I have better goals and better plans that are keeping me busy, that are real solutions for our society, for the problems that we are coming across right now. I'm actually working on projects and working with a few other people to create stuff that is going to build us up mentally, spiritually, psychologically. And when you actually shift your focus to the solution instead of always looking at the problem, complaining about the problem, talking about the problem, setting and showing light, of the problem, but never actually shift the focus into a solution or how to fix it, then you will always be stuck in that victim mentality. And so, as we saw on the news, it is really unfortunate that these people are left without a job and they have no career. And that's what I'm saying, that these billionaires just don't care about where we are, where the working class is, or how we're being treated because they know that the working class will still pay for certain services, whether it be in another company or a different industry. These billionaires have their hands and their money and investments in all of the industries. So if you just like leave one little company or, just shift your money to spending it somewhere else, it ends up leading back to them anyways because billionaires don't just own one company. They have their hands in all the cookie jars. So let's just say your favorite item in your kitchen is probably owned by one of these big oligarchy companies, right? So, Betty Crocker, right? Even the foods that you eat, like Annie's, that are considered more healthy, right? Like a healthy mac and cheese, an organic mac and cheese, even those companies are owned by the bigger oligarchy companies that end up being things like Procter and Gamble. And, if you know, stretching the dollar so that it actually is not worth as much is part of their game. And so I don't want to get too much into the politics of it because this video is supposed to help you know where to go next. You're supposed to shift your focus from all these problems with the economy to like the solution. So, yes, just putting light out there, these companies don't really care about us, but it's not worth your energy to go out there and fight these companies. It's more better for you to conserve your energy and actually open up a better company, start something better. You know, there are detox companies and really healthy organic companies that have actually sold out and sold their companies to, others like Clorox, right? So Clorox is a company. They also have an oligarchy company above them, but they actually have bought out little small organic businesses that had really good products. And they bought out those companies and just hijacked the product, corrupted the product, or even just ended the line in general. And these originally were helping people heal. right? And Clorox, is nothing close to organic or natural. And so they corrupted and bought out a lot of these companies. And really, what they're doing is monopolizing. Okay, you're doing something alternative that's healthier. I'm going to steal your idea, still use some of my toxic chemicals, buy you out, and then I'm going to still make all the money in that industry. So they're basically buying people out. And this is what's happening. So, what do you need to do as a consumer, as a customer, as the working class citizen? Like, what do we do? You need to start looking inside. What are your talents? What are you good at? What have you done and accomplished in your life that you're proud of, that you can build on right now, that will make your life better? Not just for you, but for you and your family, for those closest to you that support you, not for these people outside of you on your social media that just like your picture every now and then, people who don't really stay in touch, that just pretend to care. All of that is out the window. We are in the real world now. You're seeing things change in real time, and your money is really important right now. And it's not just to say money is everything, but with all of the problems that we're seeing in the economy, what they're doing is they're taking all of your money, your value, any assets, anything that's valuable, that the billionaires are stripping you of it because you keep paying into their products, watching their TV, listening to their stuff. Like everything that you do needs to align and shift into a better direction. Stop depending on these companies. Like, yes, what do I do? Spirit Airline is closed. Well, to be honest, flying and traveling is not going to be that affordable anymore. And this is all being done strategically. This was part of the plan. I mean, this is why I made a podcast early 2020 before I got silenced. I stopped doing the conspiracy uh, theories, posting them, and I do every now and then when they're not gonna like, mess up the algorithm or get flagged or whatever, but not a lot. And not only because they silenced me, like them silencing me didn't really stop me because I kept doing the conspiracies afterwards, but it did scare me. Right now, the reason I don't post conspiracies anymore is because I changed my life. I got out of that victim mentality because the conspiracy theory mentality is a victim mentality and they don't create solutions. They just keep spreading and putting light to all the problems, displaying all the problems, replaying all of these situations and not fixing or helping anyone. So I've changed my focus and I do not do that anymore because it just scares people. It just makes you paranoid. A lot of these conspiracy pages that you're following are just making you paranoid. They're not giving you real solutions. So I roll with the people who have real solutions. So stay in touch if you want to be a part of the movement. Like my spiritual teacher, I support what he does because he is creating products that help other people, just like me. Like I'm creating products that are helping enlighten people, teaching them things and showing them how to manage their own energy. So that's what you need to do. You need to get your finances together. What your energy is going to look like for the next year. What are you going to do with your energy? What are you going to do every day? Do you have a project? Do you have a goal? Are you focused on something? Because, yes, we do have to worry about eating and providing for our family and cooking and everything. But that's what you're going to have to do, anyways, every single day. Set that aside. Don't even think of it as a stress. And then also work on the other stuff because you have like 10 hours in the day. So, what are you going to do with those 10 hours? That's what you need to be worried about. If you're unemployed right now or afraid to be unemployed, start plotting, start cooking, start really being proactive instead of consuming all the time, consuming television, consuming news, consuming gossip, consuming toxic food. Now is the time for you to stop consuming so much, cook, produce, and bring something out that is going to heal everyone or just, help some people. Just be someone in the community that isn't raging, that isn't stressing, that isn't causing chaos, that isn't being hateful. That alone is going to shift your life and change your life so much, I promise you. And I will continue to be putting out tips and tricks and more of what helped me get through these times because I realize being at this state, I'm really ahead of the game. And we need to start taking matters into our own hands and stop depending on all these outside forces to do it for us. It might seem like the rest of the world is on fire, and yeah, it very much could be. But that doesn't mean that you're going to set fire or even perpetuate it and set more fires. So your mind, your body, and your spirit needs to be heavily aligned and protected right now. The alignment of your mind and your spirit right now is actually naturally occurring. And that's why all of this chaos is coming to light, because people are actually realizing, whoa, this is what I believed in this whole time, and this is what's actually happening. That's your spirit trying to align with your mind now. Your spirit knows the truth always, it's connected to the truth and everything. And so when that is misaligned with your mind, with what you think reality is, then you're going to have chaos. So once you align your mind with the reality, what's actually happening, not just assumptions or ideas or, paranoia, once you align that to your feelings, to your mind, to your spiritual body, your emotions, you're going to see that you'll start handling things a lot more better, and you'll start attracting better and higher energies, right? So we need to make sure that we're mindful of everything that we say, we do, and we participate in. So, also, just as another reminder, I do have free budget sheets that are available in my link tree. You just have to, input your name and email or something like that. Hopefully, it doesn't ask for your number. I don't need your number. And then it'll just send the file to your email or something like that. So just go ahead and click the link. I haven't tried it out myself, but I know that the free sheets are there. So take advantage of them, guys. Bye.